The next thing I saw was people falling down and gunshots.
American cities facing soaring crime.
Just some more apple-orange comparison for those of you that really care.
Let us roll up our sleeves to roll back this awful tide of violence.
That 1994 crime bill, it did contribute to mass incarceration in our country.
Yeah, a lot of it she was behind.
But we also have to have an organized effort against gangs, just as in a previous generation we had an organized effort against the mob. They are not just gangs of kids anymore. They are often the kinds of kids that are called super predators. No conscience, no empathy. We can talk about why they ended up that way, but first we have to bring them to heel. And the president has asked the FBI to launch a very concerted effort against gangs everywhere.
It doesn't matter whether or not they were deprived as a youth. It doesn't matter or not whether.
All right, here we go. It's flip-flop time. Listen to this garbage.
Them to become socialized into the fabric of society.
Even way back when he couldn't speak cohesively.
Victims of society. The end result is they're about to knock my mother on the head with a lead pipe, shoot my sister, beat up my wife, take on my sons. So I don't want to ask, what made them do this? They must be taken off the street. And Madam President, we have predators on our streets that society has, in fact, in part because of its neglect, created. Again, it does not mean.
So after all that garbage about we don't care what happened, oh yeah, but it's society that did it.
To protect my family and yours from them. They are beyond the pale, many of those people.
And what about you? What about your sons?
They have no choice but to take them out of society.
You on the crime bill that you wrote in 1994.
Sorry about the bad editing. I'm still learning this thing.
Where do you stand today on that?
Well, first of all, things have changed drastically. That crime bill went and voted. The Black Caucus voted for it. Every black mayor supported it across the board. And it didn't. The crime bill itself did not have mandatory sentences except for. That's why I'm offering $20 billion to states to change their state laws to eliminate minimum mandatories. Two things. But it had 3 strikes and you're out, which I voted against in the crime bill, but it had a lot of other things in it that turned out to be both bad and good. I wrote the Violence Against Women Act. That was part of it. The assault weapons ban and other things that were good. What I was against was giving states more money for prison systems that they could build, state prison systems. And you have 93 of every 100 people in jail now is in a state prison.
93, 100.
They built more prisons.
Yeah, I know how to count.
Into that bill, a thing called drug courts. I don't believe anybody should be going to jail for drug use. They should be going.
So that's why that grandmother from Alabama ended up with like a life sentence and got out after 21 years, right? Mm-hmm.
And the truth is, we don't very well know how to rehabilitate them at that point. That's the sad truth. I'm the guy that said
There you go.
Rehabilitation, when it occurs, we
More
don't
apple-orange
understand
comparison here.
And when we notice it and we know it occurs, we don't know why. So you cannot make rehabilitation a condition for release. That's why in our system, there's the federal system, you serve 85% of your time. It's a shame, but we don't know how to rehabilitate.
Can't raise kids in an environment where this is all they know and they're surrounded by it, and then think that somehow they are going to be immune from the influences that they're seeing every day. Right. Because what you were saying about your brother, just like, oh, well, and my big bro, he's going to prison. Then he starts thinking, I'll probably end up at some point going to prison and I'll be okay.
Well, as he has said, look, we have 5% of the world's population, 25% of the world's prisoners. We spend $80 billion a year on prison. Those are the statistics.
And how many of these people we figure are like crisis actors?
On the people.
I joined with a group of people in the House to provide for changing the system from punishment to rehabilitation. Along with a guy named Arlen Specter, you may remember, I wrote the Second Chance Act.
In the meantime, an awful lot of people were jailed for minor drug crimes after the
Exactly right.
Was it a mistake to support it?
Yes, it was. But we did a study. And we determined what happens if, for the first, second, third offense, for any crime in the criminal justice system, at the federal level, if you're a black man, it's the first time you committed robbery. How long would you go to jail on average if you're a white man? How long? Black man would go to jail on average 13 years. White man, 2 years.
Another thing about how perspectives change over time. Bobby Rush, member of Congress, said the other day, "I'm ashamed that I voted for the '94 crime bill." You ashamed of that bill?
Not at all. And in fact, I drafted the bill, as you remember.
I know that.
And by the way,
Oops. All right, hang on. Sorry.
you know who I am. You know who he is.
Yeah, this gets more interesting as it goes along, folks. I mean, again, sorry about the editing.
Character of the country is on the ballot. Our character is on the ballot. Look at us closely.
Let me ask some follow-up. Please respond, and then we're going to have follow-up.
If this stuff is true about Russia, Ukraine, China, other countries, Iraq, if this is true, then he's a corrupt politician.
Right.
So don't give me the stuff about how you're this innocent baby. Joe, they're calling you a corrupt politician. Nobody.
President Trump, I want to stay on the issue of race. We're talking about the issue.
From him.
President Trump,
Nobody.
we're talking about race right now, and I do want to stay on the issue of race.
Well, the people who use America, corporations who use America, groups of people who use America for a stepping stone for more powerful position in the rest of the world. I mean, face it, there's people who are trying to gain control of the entire world now.
Senator Biden, it's nice to have you here. As the youngest member
Some
of the Senate,
remember when.
who may expect the longest career there, I wonder if you'd say to us, since it's clear that you're not corrupt and you got elected, why should people think that the system produces corrupt results when there you are?
Well, I'm not sure you should assume I'm not corrupt.
Well, I'm not sure you should assume I'm not corrupt.
Well, I'm not sure you should assume I'm not corrupt.
But it's